Okay, we're back in the cockpit, but this is not a live shot. It's actually an instant replay. We've gone back about 4 minutes here to right about the time that we disconnected the autopilot. And actually I'm going to switch to an exterior view of the aircraft and also give you a cabin view. Or, excuse me, not cabin view, but flight deck view. But you can see here, there was a slight crosswind component, so the aircraft axis is not perfectly aligned with the runway. But there wasn't much of a crosswind, so we more or less made a straight-on approach. And I think at one point we were a bit above glide, so I took back a little bit of the power and corrected. You can probably hear the altitude call-outs now.
400.
So these runways are extremely close together. There are very specific rules on the approach plates for these. If you go to the terminal procedures, aircraft cannot pass each other, but they do land parallel to one another. But you can see wingtip to wingtip, they wouldn't be that far away from each other.
Minimums.
So now we reached our minimums, and I'm going to switch to kind of a front-on view or side view here so you can see the flare. It's a pretty nice flare. At 30 feet we cut the engines and flared and touched down. And we were pretty much right on the center line, so you can't ask for a much more perfect landing than that. You can see the spoilers deployed. Those are the slats right there, and then also we applied a little bit of thruster there. You can see the engine opened up and then it closed, and we would also probably undeploy the spoilers as we make our turn off of the runway. But right now we're still slowing to a stop, about 15 knots, and then we make our turn onto taxiway. And we're right on the yellow line. You can see the spoilers went away, and it also cleaned up the aircraft by going flaps up. So that's pretty much that, and there go the flaps, and now the aircraft is clean, and we're taxiing to the gate. Other thing we can look at is a flight analysis, which is another feature of Flight Simulator 2004. It basically shows you the same map that was used to display the flight plan when we were drawing that up, but you can actually replay your flight, go back to any point in time, and then play back the flight at any speed. You're basically looking at an overhead map, and this red line here is the flight path, so you can see the route we took into the bay. We kind of we came up north and then curved around and landed on runway 28 left. And if time were compressed a little bit, this is basically the entire flight. You'd see this feather representing the glide slope, and you don't want to be outside the range, and we definitely did not deviate from that at all. But this is a nice tool if you want to save your approaches and replay them at or refly them at a later date, and you can go back and see your airspeed, your heading, and your altitude, and whether you were on glide as well as your position at any point in time and you can kind of critique your performance. But anyway, I think that's pretty much that. This is the last video, and want to thank you for joining us. Again, as a disclaimer, I'm not a pilot. I do not have a pilot's license, but I grew up around aviation, and I love to fly, and it shows. So hope you can join us next time, and good luck in the friendly skies.